Hi, this is Dave from Conveyco. Check out this webinar we just completed.
Hi, this is Dave Lodwig with Conveyco Technologies. Today's webcast, Sorting It Out, Modern Sortation in the Fulfillment Process. The agenda of the presentation is we're going to go over the concepts of sortation and consolidation in distribution. What are they used for? How do they work? Then we'll go over specific sortation technologies, different types of sorters. And then we're going to subdivide the applications by traditional and then new and or alternative. Then we'll discuss the benefits. How can you use this to improve your operation? And then we'll discuss questions and answers. Different concepts for sortation and consolidation. Essentially, sortation is consolidation. What it allows you to do is to do a batch pick of either cases or units, put those batches, which are many different orders, through the sortation process, and the sorting technology then breaks that batch down into discrete orders. So what it allows your picking operation to do is to operate more efficiently. It also allows for operations that may have different picking areas to operate independently of each other, so that work can be done in area A, B, and C at their own rates, then brought together by the sortation technology or consolidated into individual orders. We're going to break the sortation down into two categories: full case and unit sortation. Full case is cartons or larger individual units. Units tends to be things like individual pieces. In apparel, it would be one bagged shirt, one bagged pair of pants. In shipping, it would be things like paper and poly envelopes. Different case sortation technologies, we're kind of going to work our way up from the oldest and slowest to the newest and fastest. The first are pushers. Pushers are probably the original sortation technology. Pushers can handle cartons and some units up to about 30 cartons per minute. Like I said before, they handles primarily cases, and pushers are very forgiving of cartons that may not have great bottoms. They're not trying to steer anything. It will positively divert the product. It does not rely on steering it off or anything. Speaking of steering it off, wheel and roller diverters. Wheel diverters, that's how they work. They pop up either at 30 or 20 degrees, and they steer the product off of the sorter. They can only handle cases. They are not very good at handling cases that do not have firm and flat bottoms. They're not great at high speeds at handling unevenly weighted cartons. If your cartons are very, very high quality, very evenly weighted, there are some wheel diverter sorters that can handle up to 150 cartons per minute. So if your product is closer to perfect than not, this might be a technology you would consider. Then its cousin is the 90-degree pop-up roller divert. And the rollers divert product 90 degrees from the sorter, can handle approximately 50 cartons per minute. The pop-up rollers are more forgiving than the 30-degree wheels, And they can handle some poly bags if they're somewhat firm. They can handle a wider range of cases than the wheel diverters, and they can handle some envelopes. Now we move into the higher speed, higher technology sortation devices. First is shoe sorters. Shoe sorter can handle rates from 150 to 400 plus cartons per minute. Very fast. They handle the product very gently. The shoe sorter has a flat top conveying surface, and then the blocks on the side are what we refer to as shoes. And when it's time to divert the product that's on top of the sorter, they slide over and very, very gently divert the product. They can handle the widest range of products. There are some new shoe sorters that are specifically designed to handle polybags. The other type of high-speed sorters are tilt tray and cross belts. They essentially operate similarly. They both operate about the similar speed, 100 to 150 cartons per minute, but they can handle a very wide range of product. They can handle individual polybags. They can handle large cartons. They usually run in a loop so that you can create out of one loop several virtual sorters. So that 150 cartons or units a minute can easily be doubled or tripled using that loop as 2, 3, or 4 virtual sorters. So we talked a little about the rates of the tray sorters, 8,000 to 10,000 units per hour. If you're handling things as small as jewelry, those rates can be 20,000 plus. We talked about the range of products. We can handle polybags that are 1.5 inches long on up to full-size cases. A cross belt is functionally the same as a tilt tray, except for it can center product on the cross belt. Because it is a powered divert as opposed to a tilt tray using gravity. Divert centers can usually be closer so that you can get more diverts in a given length. They can run sometimes, depending upon the product you're handling, they can run a little bit faster than tilt trays. And like tilt trays, they can handle both cases and units, polybags, very, very small product. Then there's the hybrid systems. What we mean by hybrid is most of them have been developed in the last 5, 8 years. Something like the pocket system. The pocket systems use overhead garment handling technology with a pouch or a pocket hanging from them. Very, very versatile, only with a weight limitation of up to approximately 6 to 10 pounds. But whatever you can fit into that pouch can be handled at rates up to about 10,000 units per hour. It can handle shoes. It can handle small bagged product. The other new technology are the plastic belt conveyors. What makes them unique, or what makes them the hybrid, is they're technically belt conveyors with rollers on them. But because they're manufactured with many very small rollers very close together, you can handle a very wide range of product. You'll see here handling a poly bag. Anything that you can induct onto these generally can be sorted. You can do it up to 50, 75 units per minute or cartons per minute. We'll handle cartons and units. These are very expensive per foot, but they can also do double duty. The same unit can be used as a merge and induction unit, and then to sort also. This is the pocket sorter in action. And what you'll see is these are individual units or bags, and anything that will fit into that bag within the weight limitations allows you to batch pick. What's unique about the pocket sorter technology is it is the best sequencing device. So it's a combination of a conveying, storage, and sorting device. What you'll see here in these videos is how multiple colored bags will come into this system, but we can sort them out in any sequence required. What that also allows you to do is bring product to your pack stations, one unit at a time or one order at a time. The packing process set up properly with these can be very, very fast and limit the number of touches required to get a product picked and packed. Now we'll talk about different sortation applications. So the first area is receiving. Receiving systems are best used on product that is received floor loaded on trailers. As you'll see in this video, what it allows you to do is with 2 touches to a carton, unload it from the truck while in the truck, convey it out, and then sort it out by any way that you would prefer. Normally what will happen is you'll have multiple SKUs in a truck. You'll receive them onto the receiving system and sort them out by either SKU or family of SKU or by location area to be put away in the warehouse. Split case picking. We talked about this. What a sorter allows you to do, helps your picking operation, is allows you to go out and pick randomly the units for anywhere up to between 100 and 500 orders at a time, so that you can maximize the efficiency of the travel and the time used in picking. Bring that bulk of product over to the sortation device and let that sort it out into the discrete orders. What that allows you to do is, rather than picking discrete orders at anywhere from 50 to 100 lines an hour, one at a time per person, allows one person to pick the units for up to 500 orders at a time. Traditionally, tray sorters have been used for bagged apparel product. There are some unique tray sorters, sometimes referred to as micro tray sorters, that were specifically designed to handle hard goods such as cosmetics, jewelry, other health and beauty care items, any type of small product, eyeglasses, contact lenses, things like that. So it's the same concept of batch picking for many orders at one time and having the system sort them out to discrete orders. This is a unit sorter that essentially does the same thing as a cross belt or tilt tray, but the way that they use their cross belt is they add a dimension. So what you're able to do is sort to more locations in a smaller footprint in your facility. Order consolidation. So we're talking about technologies, and a unit sorter, a tilt tray, a cross belt that's sorting individual units to discrete orders is essentially the automation of what people refer to as put to light or put walls. And that's where the order resides in the storage unit, and the SKUs are brought to the operator one at a time. These are best, if you're going to do this manually, put to light is manual unit sortation. It's best applied when you bring an individual SKU into this zone shown here. If anywhere from 70 to 80% of the orders will get at least one unit of the SKU that is introduced. Packing. A very traditional use for sortation is you can pick discrete orders out in your picking area, and they may need to be packed either differently or by many different pack stations. Well, what sortation allows you to do is segregate your packing and send, if let's say that you have 4 different types of pack stations. What allows those orders to be picked, conveyed together, and then sorted to the right type of pack station for that type of order. The other way it can be used is if all of your packing is similar or the same, but you need multiple packers, what it allows you to do is to convey everything from picking in a single stream, but distribute the work evenly to your pack stations and packers. Probably the first application of sortation was in shipping. In full case systems, or this can be used for split case systems. Let's discuss full case systems first. What it allows you to do is to pick the cases for many different orders at one time. In this example, there's approximately 25 sort lanes. So what you would do is pick full cases for 25 orders at a time. So that allows you to travel less per case picked in the picking operation. This particular graphic shows direct load to the trailers. In a piece picking operation, what this would handle is things coming from packing. You could have packing anywhere in the building, have a single stream come out of your multiple pack stations, and then sort this out by, if you're an e-commerce operation, you can sort it out by carrier or carrier type. Your next day air goes down line 1, 2-day ground the other. If you truly rate shop and use multiple carriers for the same type of delivery based upon cost, then you would have an appropriate number lanes for shippers and classes of service. Combination sorting. So if you're a low to medium operation, this particular system shipped approximately 20 cartons a minute. What we were able to do, every carton, this was a split case picking operation that they picked to the shipper, but then the shipper had to be packed. The packing was, it needed dunnage, it needed some paperwork, it needed to be sealed, and then it needed to be shipped. A combination sorter, if your net rate is 20 a minute, this sorter was designed for 40 to 50 a minute so that every carton can go through twice. The shipping or the sortation software is able to recognize orders and understand what to do with it the first time through and what to do with it the second time through. What this did for this particular operation is it minimized capital equipment costs so that we had one sorter for packing and the same sorter was doing shipping. In some cases, it could save you $500,000. We mentioned order consolidation. There are several technologies. One is a shuttle type system to the left in this video that is really not designed for picking, but it is designed to take cases or totes, allow them to be picked independent of each other. So if you have a multi-tote, multi-carton order that may take an hour to pick in one area, 5 minutes to pick in another area, What this consolidation buffer allows you to do is pick in those different areas, send them to here, and automate the consolidation process so that this buffer storage system knows what is in every order, keeps track of the cartons or totes as they come in, and knows when the last one was received, the order is complete, and then automatically pull that order out together and send it out of the buffer. The system to the right is really just conventional conveyor used to do what's called a pre-sort to get many lanes close together, multiple levels high, where you'll do a batch pick and sort out you can do it two different ways. You can load this thing with one SKU per lane, and in a case picking operation, this would operate like a soda machine, so that when order number one needs 2 cases of the first SKU, 1 case of the second, and so on, the recipe and the actual picking of the cases for the order is automated by this buffer. The other way to use it is as a consolidation buffer. Many times it's used in route delivery sequencing for delivery trucks. So what you can do is pick from multiple areas, have each order consolidated in its own holding lane, and then when it's time to ship that order, the truck is there, whatever the criteria is, when that order is ready to be loaded or shipped or something similar to that, you release the entire order at a time, and you can release those orders like if you're loading a delivery truck, the last order to be delivered goes in first, and the first order to be delivered off the back of the truck goes in last, so that everything is in an orderly fashion in that delivery truck to minimize the confusion and errors by the route delivery driver. So that concludes our webinar on sortation technologies and their application. My name's Dave Lodwig. I'm with Conveyco Technologies. My contact information is shown here. Please reach out to Conveyco with any questions or requirements. Thank you very much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you at the next webinar.